York-Simcoe.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance. Last week, you claimed to have published the unfunded liabilities of public sector pensions in the budget. This is not so. What is published is how much we already know Ontario taxpayers will be paying out, which includes over $3.3 billion worth of pensions in the 2014-15 alone. The numbers in the budget only include the next 3 years. The question is, how much more will Ontario taxpayers have to pay on top of these figures? Minister, as a growing deficit looms to $30 billion, what steps is the province going to take to fill in the gaps when it comes to funding public sector pensions?
Thank you. Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, the member opposite should be aware that valuation dates vary on these pension plans, Mr. Speaker, and accordingly, as valuation dates move, we provided the most up-to-date information in the budget that's clear and follows the information that has in fact been determined by these large pension funds. I do want to assure the members of those funds that they are solid, they are in good shape, they have challenges as pension funds do everywhere. I note in your Pathways to Prosperity whitewash that you cite how strong our pensions are. Mr. Speaker, you've invited them to invest and to buy Niagara Falls and to buy a number of other public assets, Mr. Speaker. And I would also note that the member opposite policy on compensation in Ontario has conveniently sidestepped the question of pensions. Why don't you mention it? There's a large section in our budget about dealing with pension costs. Your party's failed to do that.
Thank you. Minister. Supplementary.
Thank you. Minister, Ontarians are worried about the security of their pensions. Ontario public sector pension plans are short billions of dollars. Again, are you trying to hide the fact that there is an unfunded liability of billions of dollars? You've already admitted taxpayers are on the hook. What is your plan to secure the future of public sector pensions while being transparent with the taxpayers about how much they're on the hook for?
Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, we are tackling the challenge in the pension funds with our partners. I'll remind the member opposite again, Mr. Drummond provided an analysis of where those pensions are at. The budget did that, Mr. Speaker. The Environment Minister has that. I know how concerned he is about the Endangered Species Act as well. I would suggest to the member opposite that you take the same serious approach to pensions that we do and read the budget and what we're proposing and where we're moving. You're silent on that in your wage freeze information, which candidly does not get us to where we need to get in terms of balancing the budget and the time frames laid out. Mr. Speaker, I also note again and remind the member opposite that in your document released yesterday, you referred to the great pensions and strengths of our pensions. You proposed to sell off Niagara Falls to them and some other assets, Mr. Speaker, but we'll work with our partners as we move to get those pensions back into stronger shape.